Hello and welcome to this special program coming to you live from Davos. As always, I think in Davos we have to start with a weather report. We thought the good news was that it stopped snowing. Actually, it's not good news because when the snow stops, the wind starts and it becomes even colder. Shweta?
That's right, Vikram. It's absolutely freezing out here. It looks like it's some minus 50 degrees, but we are still here to bring you the very latest from what's happening here at the World Economic Forum. Day 3, yet another very, very exciting day. And as we speak, NDTV's Pranoy Roy is chairing a very, very special session. Just one of the big names on his session, Bill Gates. Here's a look.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're going to talk about how to feed the world and rethink on that issue. We know that 1 billion people today suffer from malnutrition. 80% of those are in the agricultural sector. So it's probably the single most important issue that faces the world today. And at the same time, it's probably the single most neglected issue at forums like this. So it's very good to see the World Economic Forum paying so much attention to food production and organizing a special World Food Program. It's a big change, and I think it's about time that happened. But let's get a first introductory remarks of what the problem is that we are facing. And we'll start with the Prime Minister of Tanzania.
Well, of course, it's a daunting challenge to be given the task of defining the problem. But what I can say to start with is that, indeed, there is a huge challenge of feeding the world today. 1 billion people are undernourished, and we have 6.1 or 6.3 billion people now. And by 2050, there will be 9.2 billion. So indeed it's a big challenge. But to begin with, I can say that we can feed ourselves. What needs to be done is to overcome the constraints that keep production and productivity low. Once we succeed to overcome that problem, we are home and dry.
So if I could ask now Patricia Wirtz, who's co-chair of the World Economic Forum and also chairman, president, and chief CEO of ADM.
Thank you, Roy. It's from my perspective as a global leader in agriculture, as well as the CEO of ADM, that we see the growing demand that the President described as a key issue longer term. So it's not only that the population will grow by 50% by the middle of the century, but that the demand for agricultural products will double, because as people become more prosperous, they eat a better diet, there's demands for agriculture. I am similarly optimistic that agriculture can fulfill those needs. And in the short term, I think agriculture has a key role to play in the economic recovery, because as many know, agriculture, and of course we don't eat agriculture, we eat food, but agriculture contributes to the reduction of poverty twice as much, some people think even as 4 times as much, as investment in other sectors. So agriculture, with its effects across, up, down the chain, has the ability to alleviate poverty. So in defining the problem, I think it is not only the longer term of feeding a growing population and providing for those needs, that growing demand for agricultural products, but in the short term, the need for economic recovery, investment in agriculture, in infrastructure, in technology, will help provide some of the solutions to that immediate problem as well.
Tubar.com,